Hey humans, how's it going? It's Shani today here, and welcome to something a little bit different. And I'm not going to waste too much of your time with the intro because it's a voiceover, and I'm all cozy and warm because it's winter here in South Africa. And I thought, what better way to hang out with you than talk over a build that I created on stream recently for a save file collaboration that I'm doing with 52 other Sims creators, some of which you may be very familiar with, others you might not be, but this is a build I created for that save file. It's entirely base game, which means anyone can download it and use it. So it is a save file. It's being hosted by ZannahG. More information is available in the description below. PC, Mac, and console are able to participate. I know console can't download an entire save file, but what we can do is everything that you will see in the save file has also been uploaded to the gallery, which is really rad. But I explain a little bit more about that. But let's just sit back, let's relax, let's kick back, and listen to me ramble about listen to present Shani talk about past Shani's building experience. And then I'll see you guys again in the outro. I'm doing a little bit of a voiceover over a Twitch VOD, which is a little bit strange for me, given that, yes, I built this house on stream over a couple of days, and now I've kind of just cut out all of the stream bits and most of the time where I'm stalling and I'm talking to chat, because if you've ever been in a Twitch stream with me, when it comes to me building, I stall a lot and I get distracted by chat a lot. Whereas I can multitask better when I'm doing gameplay. But this is for the ZannahG World Friendship Day base game save file. This was the lot that I was assigned to create. I was assigned to create a tiny home in the Willow Creek neighborhood with the focus on skill building. Now, the only requirements for myself, apart from it being a tiny living build, which will obviously then revert to just a residential with only base game, but if you have tiny living installed, you'll be able to have it as a tiny residential. The other requirement for this lot was for it to be under 22,000 simoleons, including of lot taxes. So I struggled to keep to a budget firstly, but having to keep to base game only stuff, it was definitely, I found a lot of us enjoyed the challenge, but it was eye-opening as well to realize how many comfort items we have from specific packs that we're just so used to using this specific window or this specific swatch or these specific doors, these specific clutter items. So here I'm busy trying to figure out, I do eventually move the reference picture that I was working off as well. I didn't really want to recreate that exact house, but it was the type of look I knew I wanted to go for. I wanted to build something a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Given that I'm so used to building tiny homes, or at least 64 tile lots for the baby challenge, I wanted to focus on creating something that was a little bit different, but also very open plan. And I'm stoked with how it turned out. Obviously, you'll see I start doing the interior in a bit once I've finished all the outside. But considering that I finished the outside and a lot of the interior in the first stream segment that I did, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked, and even chat was proud of me, because I don't usually I usually create something and I usually build and then I hate everything and I start over midway through. So for me to not really discard too much, and for me to not struggle too much with the roofing either, I was very, very impressed with myself. And it just proves that if you push yourself outside of your comfort zone long enough, you will slowly start to improve. So I remember back when I started streaming Sims gameplay in September of 2020, my goodness, 2017. That's when console Sims came out. But when I started streaming gameplay, whenever I had the idea to stream me building, it was the most like nerve-wracking thing, and I definitely feel I've gotten over that little bit of a stage fright since pushing myself in my comfort zone, because gameplay I know I'm confident in, I'm comfortable with. Bring on the most chaotic game challenges ever. I get a little bit stressed when things break, like when the Sims breaks and it doesn't want to work with me after a patch or something, then I still get pretty anxious. But I'm not as self-conscious about me building on stream as I used to be. And I also definitely feel in my element with tiny home, and it was very cool to see some of the swatches and some of the stuff that is actually in base game that I've never considered using, because obviously with the more packs you have, the more stuff you have to use. So restricting myself as much. And also, I started this build the day that Dream Decorator had come out, or the day after it had released in the evening, because packs for me in South Africa go live the evening of. So like 7 in the evening, 8 in the evening, and then on stream the following day I get to play with the new pack. So it was really tough for me. My intention when starting this build was to build using the Dream Decorator stuff and then substitute other stuff in for base game to make it reach the requirements for the base game save file. But I ended up sticking purely to base game stuff. I probably will go back and use some more modular stuff for this particular build and for this particular floor plan. Now once the save file is live. For those on console as well, just out of curiosity, because obviously we as console players on Xbox and PlayStation aren't able to download an entire save file. It's a very PC and Mac thing to be able to do. So for console, all of the files that have been uploaded separately, or the lots and the townies and everything, they have all been uploaded to the gallery. So if you use World Friendship Day, it's WFD save file. That's the hashtag. Let me just double check. Let me just double check. I should have checked this before I started the speed build. I'm in a Discord with all of these amazing creators, so I'm just scrolling through here to double check. Yes. WFD save file is the hashtag that you can use to search on the gallery to grab all of these lots. Yes, it's a little bit more painstaking for console players because you have to go individually place every single lot, but it's not like you're completely excluded, so that's nice at least. But here I'm busy with the kitchen. I realized that I've just been talking over me building, and basically the entirety of the exterior has already been done. And once I start now doing the interior, but I mean, it's cozy, it's nice. I'm warm. I'm also realizing, because I can see the face cam, that this face cam is covered up, and it's sped up to 900% of what the original speed was of the VOD. And here's me playtesting. Look at me. Look at little Shani playtesting as I go. My goodness, I'm so proud of me. Oh, and I was talking about the Dream Decorator stuff. I was talking about how dope the new stoves and ovens are. And obviously I can't end up using that, but I was having a moment because I hadn't played much with the pack yet. But yeah, I really haven't commentated much over this build yet, have I? I also think I end up moving that door. I'm pretty sure the door that leads to the outside patio, I'm pretty sure I flip and move around to this side, because I end up putting the bed in the corner across from the bathroom. And hopefully the forever glitching sims that potentially do and don't scooch is not too much of an issue. But this was also created during June, so you'll notice there's a lot of odes to Pride. So there was a Pride door that I was going to use as on chat's request, and then I ended up not using the Pride door, and I ended up using one of the Pride flags in the build, since it was built during Pride month. So yeah, and I save a lot. I've noticed just with me talking here a little bit now, I save a lot. But that's also partly because there are save reminder, Twitch popcorn redemptions or channel point redemptions, and then there's also just me not wanting my game to crash, because that happens a lot on console. But with the focus being on skill building in this house, I had a bunch of polls running in chat as well, just to hear from chat which skills they would like to learn or have their sims be able to learn. Because obviously if you have a PC added to a lot, the world's your sim's oyster, right? But I had a poll running on which skills would you like to work on: writing, programming, guitar, art, whatever. And I think we narrowed it down to, we wanted a PC, which was cool, which obviously gives you so many options, but we also wanted a bookshelf and guitar and chess. And then I also included a couple of gardening plots outside. There, I've moved the door now. I remember moving that door because I remember making the little bit of a TV area, open plan living situation. And with removing that door to the other side, I had more space to play with. And then I was trying to like incorporate it so that it wasn't so closed off, and I was like, no, but that's a really dumb idea. Put it the other way, put the TV in the corner. And I ended up using the cheapest electronics because 22,000 simoleons, and I'm always so concerned with lot taxes to ensure that I've come in under budget and still accounting for lot taxes. So I actually think I came in way under the 22,000 simoleon, including of lot taxes. I think I'm on 20,000 and something. So if you download the stuff and you do want to include better appliances or a better PC or a better TV, you can go ahead and do that. I was just super neurotic about having the lot be a little bit too expensive because it's just outside of starter price range. But if you've got a sim that's moving out from their parents' home, if they've got 22,000 instead of the traditional 20,000, it's a really nice, it's a little bit above starter home. And I made use of so much of the anniversary stuff. I've used the little like cubby little TV stand there. I know I end up using the flowers as well, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously I've already used the chairs at the counter, the island counter, and then I also end up using the wardrobe from the anniversary stuff. I think that's about it. I also use some debug stuff, or at least hidden objects. And I also like the fact that I used a color that I don't often get to build with. Obviously, from Not So Berry Challenge, you tend to build with a lot of mint, or at least I have built with a lot of mint. I'm busy with the cottage living build as well, that everyone's like, are you doing a Not So Berry build? And I'm like, I know it's got this like a minty green, but this house in particular ended up being a more like different green, which I'm definitely a fan of. I definitely stepped outside of my comfort zone. I mean, as much as I can be still in my comfort zone for a tiny living build. Oh, this is when I was trying to do the lights, and I was having a moment about, I hate that you have to go into live mode to change the color and intensity of everything, and then you can't just do that from build mode. I don't know if there's a mod or something to do that within build mode itself on PC, but on console, I have to physically like load out and in to, well, load into live mode, set all the color of and the intensity of everything, and then go back into build and continue building. It's frustrating. There should be an ease of access for all of that, but I mean, ease what it is. I think I start doing the outside now for a bit. I do go back and do some more stuff inside at one point. But I think this is where I want to figure out, I think I end up putting a plant there. I put so many plants in this house in comparison to what I usually do. And here's me talking about the planters. Like, I love those planters. And then I also go through, you'll see it later on in the speed build, I go through an intense moment of grabbing debug items for clutter, since didn't have that much clutter to work from in terms of base game. You're used to, like, there's specific items that you're so used to using that you use in every build, that once you get all your packs taken away from you, you're like, oh my gosh, this is from X expansion pack or Y expansion pack, and you're like, oh wow. Debug to the rescue. Fortunately, if you want to know how to enable debug and all of that other stuff, by the way, I have done an updated cheats video for 2021 that can be found in the description and up in the cards, should you be interested. And also, if you're wondering how, one of the #1 questions I get when people watch me do any form of building or changing of swatches in build mode, here's another one of the anniversary items, I'm pretty sure. That little entryway little table thing, I'm pretty sure that's from the anniversary stuff. The up and down, no, not up and down, the negative and the plus and minus on the numpad when you're in build by, if you're holding an item before you've placed it for the first time, you can cycle through the swatches. It's much quicker, especially if you're trying to figure out stuff. So that's always something that people are always asking. And this is me trying to be super extra and realizing that, hold on, it's gonna clip to the wall, so I had to yeet the walls out of the way to be able to put the little towel over the oven handle. And then because the counter was there in the way, obviously I've got some clipping through the wall, but shh, it's a tiny home. I'm allowed to clip through the wall as much as possible as long as I've hidden it. Oh, and here's me taunting stream about which is better, or which is the correct way for the toilet roll, whether it's under or over. And in case you didn't know, the different swatches of the toilet paper roll in The Sims for decoration allow you to choose whether you want your toilet roll under or over. Personally, I'm an under person instead of an over person, and that's purely because I've grown up in a house with small children and toddlers, and there's nothing more frustrating than finding your like nephew or niece or whoever sitting in the bathroom just rolling the toilet roll off its roll entirely. And obviously we had a puppy at a stage that would grab it and run, so the under tends to help that a little bit. But maybe it's the same arguments as pineapple on pizza. Like, you're either for it, against it, or it just doesn't matter to you as long as the toilet paper is there and it does its job, right? But here's me going through my entire thing during debug. I was looking for art. I was specifically looking for the microscope paintings that you get from either from the microscope or from the what's the other thing called? The telescope observatory thing. All of these really scientific looking things. I knew I wanted to use something like that, and I was also keeping in mind how much budget I had left, because currently I only have 1,000 and some change left in my Simoleon bank account. So I start budgeting a lot more and like sacrificing certain things for other things. Like, I don't even remember if I ended up placing art on the second wall or not, because I didn't want to sacrifice too much of the art. But I really had a lot of fun time with this build. I still haven't placed a plant here, and I'm pretty sure that's the plant I end up keeping there. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of spinning around going on as well. And there's apparently gourmet fruitcake on the outside. And I think this is where I start doing the cluttering. Yes, there we go. Because I am obsessed with clutter. Because it makes the house feel more lived in, you know? Like, it makes it feel more homey. And I have noticed, I actually passed this comment when I was looking through Cottage Living on stream on Friday, that with every pack that they release with more and more items, the more homey stuff ends up feeling. Like, there's more reasons, like logical reasoning behind, oh, if this was in a real situation, it would have this or it would have that. They've also added a lot of really nice things that have additional plants built into it, which I am a fan of. So clutter just makes the world and the house feel lived in. And it just feels more full. So I've really been on a proper cluttering binge in the last couple of builds that I've done on stream. I haven't really done too many builds off stream, have I? I haven't really been playing Sims off stream for a while since my game corrupted the save file. Around about the same time my Not Berry save file corrupted, I lost my legacy family that I'd been working on for years and years, and I was very sad about that. Oh, this is where I realized I can't place the bushes there until I remove the foundation. Oof, I was upset about that. So I had to remove their foundation, place the plants where I wanted them to be, and then redo the foundation. I was upset about that, but there was no other way for me to do it without the plant jumping up to the top level. So this is me just doing the hedging around the house and being frustrated with the fact that it kept clipping up. And then I did a couple, like a lot of people were saying you should use debug, so I ended up using a lot of debug stuff just to save money in terms of budget wise. And I mean, it works at the end of the day. You get a fancy garden that isn't super stark and super bare, but it also doesn't break the bank for Sims, which is nice. Oh my goodness. And then we were talking, I was talking about how a lot of people end up using like cars and stuff to make it look like real proper lived in. Like the Sims taunts us enough to put cars in game, but not make them usable. So there's that. And here's me debug shopping for a whole bunch of clutter items for the for the kitchen. And then one of my mods was actually accusing me of creating a murder scene. Because there were just these random like bottles of stuff and different like knives and stuff laying on the floor. And I was like, trust the process. And then when I would come across something for the outside as well, I was like, oh wait, I'm gonna need this. Go back there. So I end up putting a lot of clutter on the floor randomly. I mean, I get to use it eventually all in the end, and the stuff I didn't use, I just yeeted afterwards. But rather place it there than have to scroll back a million times. And I also have the base game label on to make sure that all of the debug I am using is base game wise. Yeah, there was a lot of also really random debug items I had no idea existed that once you don't really pay attention, you don't often see. So like the swords we saw, it was like, okay, that's intense. I think I'm looking for the art now, the little art with the flower on it. I'm pretty sure. I have a feeling I'm looking for... Oh, you know what I was looking for? I was looking for the cereal box. The cereal box comes from Outdoor Retreat, and I didn't realize that. I thought it was base game. So my go-to for the top of the fridge clutter is the cereal box. And there was no cereal box for me to use, so I had to make do with like that cream milk jar jug thingamabob, and a couple of coffee grind thingamabobs, and I also didn't know quite where I wanted to put the debug items in terms of like the knives and the wooden spoons and stuff, while still having that counter be functional. So fortunately, because I alt placed it, that counter should still be usable, we hope. I mean, I did play test it again afterwards. I mean, it's too late to go back now. Oh. That's just me making sure that it doesn't snap to the counter again for the 50 millionth time. Oh my goodness. I really liked how this kitchen turned out. It was cute and small and compact, with a single flower. Amazing. And good on you, Shani. You're saving again. We're actually coming to a little bit of end now of this speed build as well. I think it's just the landscaping and the garden that I want to get through. I haven't... there was another stream. This specific commentary I've done over 2 streams that I've sped up, but there was another third additional stream. I went back and I did a lot more like fluffing and frilling extra, which I probably am going to show you when I tour the builds, when I tour the actual save file, which will be available from the 31st of July. Then I will do a proper full tour of the full build. I just wanted to do a little bit of a speed build commentary, just because I wanted to let you know that, hey, there is a save file that is coming. It's got like 53 simmers, including myself, working together on all base game, which I know a lot of people always have a thing about if it's a save file. Oh, I don't have all the packs, or oh, I need to buy this pack because certain lots are missing items. I love the idea. ZannahG was an absolute gem to come up with it, especially for World Friendship Day. And I can't wait to see what everyone else has created. And the best part is there's also townies that have been created or added or updated for the various neighborhoods. So it's an entirely full save file of your Willow Creek, your Oasis Springs, and your Newcrest. And each lot had its specific requirements, which was assigned to different simmers. Or actually in the very beginning we could request which ones we wanted to build on, and I knew I wanted to build a tiny home, so I put my hand up like very early on, and I was like, I want to build the tiny home with the skills, please. And I'm very happy with how it turned out. So I think it's cute, it's cozy. Here's where I'm adding more art, and I'm trying to work out about the money situation. And I didn't want to add the Yoda. I'm pretty sure I end up adding a dragon. Yep, there we go. The wooden dragon. For no other reason apart from I wanted it because it looked cool. And it's also not something I typically use or like usually use in my builds. And then I went back to the Yoda because chat was talking about it. And then I went with my gut. I was like, no, I want it to be a dragon. I want it to be a dragon, and that shall be the dragon. I also, as the millennial in me, I add a bunch of plants everywhere still. I mean, I say everywhere. I know I add a plant outside. I also had a little bit of an internal crisis. No, not internal crisis. I had internal conflicts about if I wanted 1 or 2 couches by the TV. I also couldn't get this bookshelf to work. I got it to work eventually. It works now. But I had to load out and in, which was really strange. So that bookshelf was very, very weird. It wasn't loading the actual books that it should come with. Like, you know when you place a bookshelf and it has your traditional books in it that you know you get with the base game or with the bookshelf that you've placed? I also knew I wanted a little, like, garden little bench under a tree, and then to find out which tree I wanted and went back into build by. I do know I went back in when I was fluffing and like adding more additional stuff to the lot itself. I did add a little bit more foliage around the yard that matched the foliage in the world, because this is in Newcrest. It's in the starter neighborhood. It's one of the more expensive starters since it's above 20,000. Not by a lot, but it's above 20,000. And yeah, I did a little bit more terrain paint, and I hope you enjoy the save file. Let me know what you think. It isn't live currently. It will be live from the 31st. I will be posting more details on all of my social medias, and I'll update the video description once that save file is live. But if you want to build this, if you want to download this build right now, you can just go onto Shani ZannahEA on the Sims 4 gallery, and you can view it there, or just search the hashtag WFD save file. So World Friendship Day save file. WFD save file. All of the townies and lots and builds and everything is available on the gallery already, because that's how Zannah's been collating everything back into a save file. For my console humans like myself, I really enjoyed this. It was also nice to do a little bit of a commentary over the speed build. So let me know if you want me to do more of these in future. I do tend to build some stuff over on the stream. If you want to see more building streams in future as well, that's twitch.tv/ShaniZannah. We have a lot of fun out there. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of Discord and Twitch overlap as well, which is a lot of fun. So if you're looking to join a fun community and you want to stay up to date with more content, then the Discord is there as well. All of those links are in the description below. But I am going to pass this back over to present Shani, who's going to do the intro outro, so you'll see me in the outro now. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I just felt extra cozy. I mean, the cats aren't here at the moment, but I just felt like extra cozy this evening. I have my Milo here while I'm busy editing, and I was like, you know what I should do? I should do the save file build, because that save file is coming out on the 31st of July. So, as I've said several times, the details for the save file for World Friendship Day are going to be in the description below. Once the save file is live, I'll link all of that information as well. But I just wanted to do something different. And now that something is different is done, maybe you'd like to see more in the future. And it's not just tips and tricks from me, but actual Sims stuff as well. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, as always, make sure to leave that like, subscribe if you are new around here. Remember that we're all human differently, and I'll see you guys again soon. Dag dag!